By the end of this video, you'll know how to get clean voice anywhere. Mic choice, placement, levels, and backups. Because I'll show you my real kit and how I set it up. But first, let's explore why this matters. Great pictures won't save bad sound. When audio is harsh, muffled, or clipping, viewers leave within seconds. Trust drops and the moment is gone forever. I personally can't afford to lose takes. I rarely get second chances. So my system is built for clear dialogue fast with smart redundancy. Here's the setup I trust on real jobs. For solo voices, I use the Sennheiser MKE2. If it's 2 people that need to be mic'd up, I use the Rode Wireless Pro Kit. I always run the shotgun as a safety. On camera for run and gun, and for sit downs, I put it onto a C-stand, just out of frame. To hide the lav and kill wind, I seat them into a Bubblebee cover, and to mount them I use Bubblebee stickies that are hypoallergenic to put them on skin or fabric. For sit-down interviews, and if the time allows for it, I will use a Zoom F3 as an additional external recorder. But before we dive into the setup and how I use the gear, here are 3 quick foundations. The first one is distance. Keep the capsule roughly 15 to 20 centimeters away from the mouth. Second, placement. Mount it on the sternum line. If I'm hiding it, I seat the lav in the Bubblebee cover and mount it with Bubblebee stickies to avoid fabric rub. With these covers, I almost never have fabric rustle. The biggest issue I have is that people forget that they're mic and they keep touching the spot where the mic is, something like this. The third foundation is levels. I personally just put a conservative input gain and make sure it doesn't clip. I don't choose a specific number, I just make sure that there's enough headroom and sort the final loudness out in post. Wherever I can and whenever I can, I run the 32-bit internal recording on the transmitters. This way I know if something does spike in camera or with the transmission, I have that onboard recording to recover those spikes. That really gives me peace of mind. But let's get into the one-person shoots. I run the MKE2 into the Rode Wireless Pro transmitter and the receiver I plug straight into the camera. I set the receiver to record in safety track. This way there is a normal input level and a 6 decibel quiet level to be able to regain any clipping. What I've also done is I've disabled the mute button on the transmitter so that people don't accidentally touch and mute the transmission. And I've set the receiver to be able to start the recording on the transmitters remotely so that if I forget to start it on the person, I can still go to the camera and start the recording from there. And added to that, I still run the shotgun mic on camera to have backup and scratch audio. To monitor all this, I use my earphones. But what happens when it's 2 people? Well, the only thing that really changes is that I use the entire Rode Wireless Pro Kit with the lavs that came with it. I still use the Bubblebee covers, I still use the Bubblebee stickies, and the only thing that changes within the settings is that I go from a safety track to a split track. So person A is on the left track and person B is on the right track so that they each have their own track and I can edit them separately in post. The rest stays identical. But what do I do in sit-down interviews? Well, the process is exactly the same as if I'm shooting just one person. The only difference here is that I put the shotgun mic onto a C stand and run that into the Zoom F3 recorder if I have time. This way, the shotgun mic is backed up to 32-bit fluid 2 and I can actually place it a lot closer to the subject and use the shotgun mic as the main audio and the lav mic as the backup audio. Out in the real world, like noisy rooms and noisy exteriors, proximity and wind control do the heavy lifting. I try to keep the mic as close to the chest as possible. I also try to get as close to the person as possible with the shotgun mic to avoid any noise being picked up by it. If it's windy, I put deadcats on to make sure the wind gets cancelled as well as possible. Also, I would try to turn the subject leeward, which means away from the wind so that the mic is on the quiet side of the wind. But before I do hit record, I do a quick monitoring check. Can I hear the person talking clearly? Is there actually audio signal coming into the transmission system and into the camera? Is there wind noise? Is there rumble? And if there is something off, here are some quick fixes you can use to mitigate these issues. For touch noise, remind the people that they're mic'd. And if it keeps happening, consider moving the mic somewhere else where they're less likely to touch it. For clipping, pull down the input a bit. Safety tracks and 32-bit float should actually save you, but you never know. For window rumble, you can consider turning on the low cut filter, putting on some Bubblebee covers, putting on a deadcat, or turning the person away from the wind. For echo, step away from hard walls or put some fabric opposite the person. That's the kit in the exact way that I use for one-person shoots, for two-person shoots, or for sit-down interviews. I hope you could take something away from this, and if you did, leave a comment down below on what you learned, or if you aren't sure about something, ask a question, I'll try my best to answer it. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like there and subscribe if you're interested in more content like this. See you in the next video. Bye.